Welcome everyone to tonight's ordinary council meeting. I am the Mayor, Councillor Ranka Rasik. I declare this meeting open at 6:01. This meeting is being live streamed on Council's website. Brimbank City Council does not record the details of the members of the public who viewed the live stream. An audio and video recording of the meeting will be published on the Council's website. This meeting of the Council has been called to consider Officer Report on Contract Number 21/2911 Provision of Landfill Services. This report was listed in the agenda of Council meeting on February 16, 2021 as Report 12.16. This will be the only business to be considered at this meeting. Item 1 will be opening, and can everyone please stand up for acknowledgement of the country. On behalf of the Brimbank City Council, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Wurundjeri people, and pay our respect to elders past, present, and emerging. I ask councils to remain standing for the council commitment. As a council, we will act on the best interest of the Brimbank community and consider the immediate and long-term impact of our decisions. We'll make these decisions fairly and without bias. We'll uphold all of our obligations under the laws of Victoria and council laws, local laws, and we will act in accordance with our code of conduct. Can everyone please take a seat? Item 3, we have apologies. We have Councillor Sarah Brenton and Councillor Victoria Bork apology for tonight. Item 4, disclosure of conflict of interest. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest tonight, councillors?
No.
I know that Councillor Chief Executive Officer Helen Morrissey has previously disclosed a conflict in respect of this matter and is not in attendance at this meeting. Item 5 is designation of items as confidential. There is one item to be designated as confidential. Motion that Council declares confidential in accordance with Section 66(2)(a) of the Local Government Act 2020. Confidential attachment 1 to report 6.1 contract number 21/2911 provision of landfill services. As it relates to private commercial information being information provided by businesses, commercial or financial undertaking that, if released, would unreasonably expose the businesses, commercial or financial undertaking to disadvantage as prescribed by Section 3(1)(g) of the Act. May I have a mover of the motion to designate the item confidential? Thank you, Councillor Lancashire.
Madam Mayor, I move the item as confidential.
Thank you. Is there a seconder of the motion? Thank you, Councillor David. Councillor Lancashire, mover of the motion. Would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Sam David, second of the motion. Would you like to speak to the motion? Can you, you're on mute, Councillor David. Can you unmute, please? Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I have nothing to say.
Thank you, Councillor David. I put motion to vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you all. I declare this motion carried. Item 6, officer reports. There is one officer report for consideration by Council tonight. 6.1, contract number 21/2911, provision of landfill services. Councillors, as I wish to participate in the next item, I will now vacate the chair and Deputy Mayor will assume the chair for the duration of the item. Thank you, Councillor Nguyen. You are now chair of this meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Rising. Councillors will now proceed with item 6.1.
So, Director Neil, I'd like to invite you to present this report.
Thank you, Chair. At the ordinary council meeting on the 25th of June 2019, Council resolved to advise the Metropolitan Waste and Resource Recovery Group that it will be participating in a collective procurement process on behalf of participating councils for landfill services. The Metropolitan Waste and Resource Recovery Group conducted a tender process for landfill services in 2020, given the current landfill services contracts are due to conclude on the 30th of March this year. The purpose of this report is to present to Council the outcomes of the tender evaluation and for contract 212911 provision of landfill services and seek Council's consideration to award the contract. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions or points of clarification for Director Neil Whiteside? Councillor Raddick?
I have my own motion rather than recommendation with the report, Councillor Nguyen.
Okay. So Councillor Raddick, what is your motion? Councillor Raddick?
Thank you. I've seen the minute taker has shared on the screen. So my motion is that Council awards contract number 21/2911, provision of landfill service to Cleanaway Pty Ltd, based on the guaranteed Tier 2 schedule of rates, guarantee for 12 months period initially and review annually, and Hanson landfill services on a non-guarantee basis for a 4-year term commencing on the 1st of April 2021. B, authorize the Mayor to execute agreements with Metropolitan Waste and Resource Recovery Group and Cleanaway Pty Ltd for the provision of landfill services based on the guarantee Tier 2 schedule for rates. Guarantee for 12 months period initially and review annually. And Hanson landfill services on a non-guarantee basis for a 4-year term commencing on the 1st of April 2021. Notes that the global, federal and state response to the COVID-19 pandemic may change the conditions encountered and information reviewed at the date of the preparation of this report. Authorize officer to redirect resources in order to give effect to the recommendations in the report. In any such redirection is responsibility required as a result of change caused by COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with and delegation made by council in effect at the time. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Raddick. Is there a seconder of this motion? Thank you, Councillor Wu.
Madam Mayor, seconding the motion.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you, Councillor Wu. Councillor Raddick, would you like to speak to the motion as mover?
Thank you, Councillor Jasmine. I would love to speak to the motion. So for far too long, Brimbank and the western suburbs more broadly have been and continue to be dumping ground for all sorts of waste. This amended motion that I have put forward tonight will mark the beginning of a broader plan to minimise the amount of rubbish being dumped right here in our backyard. By committing to a 1-year contract rather than a 4-year contract, give us the opportunity to consider and explore all other possible solutions to waste management, such as waste to energy, progress system solutions, and so on, that could have huge benefit for our environment and ratepayers too. Again, my intentions are for Brimbank to lead by example and send a clear message that it's time for long-term solutions for waste management. We have been elected to put community interest first, and this amended motion does just that by giving council more flexibility to consider options that will benefit the community and our environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Raddick. Councillor Wu, would you like to speak to the motion as seconder?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I concur with Councillor Raddick. Listen to our areas constantly been issue relating to dumping waste in the West. This motion actually gives us options in coming years relating to with if anything arises, we can have an options, and we're not locked into any contract for 4 years. So this opens up opportunities. I understand at the moment we are restricted to go to landfill lesson to in the recent area, but this motion offers the opportunity for us to look elsewhere when opportunity arises. So I support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Liu. Would anyone like to speak for the motion? Councillor Lancashire, you may speak.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Yes, I would like to speak on the motion. Having considered the officer's report and the recommendation and the amended motion, I would like to make the following comments in support of the amended motion. Waste management is going through a period of significant change. Since the Chinese government stopped taking our recycled waste and the federal government banned future exports of this waste, we have had to review all of our processes. This contract will guarantee our waste collection going forward. However, the change from a 4-year guaranteed contract to a 1-year guaranteed contract over 4 years will give Council both certainty of waste disposal, flexibility to look at new ideas in waste management, and added incentive, most importantly, to investigate and explore these new options. Council will continue to rely on some form of landfilling for the immediate future. However, an array of new ideas and technologies need to be considered with a sense of urgency if we are to achieve our environmental goals, minimisation of waste going to landfill, and drive new industries based on recycled resources, which is now referred to as the circular economy. Improving the production of mulch by including kitchen waste to our green waste, that's called FOGO. Using glass in our road making material, which was a recent step taken by this council. These are some of the new industries and ideas that can be expected from resource recovery and the circular economy. Having regard to these opportunities, I am happy to support the amended motion. Thank you, Acting Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Lancashire. Are there any councillors who would like to speak against the motion? Does anybody else want the opportunity to speak to this motion? All right, I'll put the motion to vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. That motion carries. Okay, thank you, councillors. The Mayor will now resume her role as the chair of the meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Nguyen. Thank you all for attending and for your interest in tonight's meeting. I declare this meeting closed at 6:14. I instruct host to stop recording of this meeting. Thank you.